financial stress has also accelerated and increased. And this actually impacts all areas of our life. I realized that as a young person going into the real world, my parents only taught me the basics of saving and budgeting. And coming from a culture like Singapore, where we're often taught to save, and sometimes it comes to a point where you're like hoarding, right? The question was, can I actually go beyond to do investing, to be good steward of the capital and the resources that I've been given? And for many of you here today, you might be wondering too, beyond saving, beyond budgeting, what else is there that can help us to really steward the resources that we've been given so that helps us to live a more meaningful and a more purposeful life? So why does all of this matter? Especially post the pandemic, we've also begun to realize that the way forward with the future of work has now begun to shift and change in such a radical way. And one of the constant that we find is that post this pandemic, financial stress has also accelerated and increased. And this actually impacts all areas of our life. And this data and this statistic has only begun to increase and change across the last year. And what we've also found is that young people, especially the millennials, are also citing that as they navigate the new world, money has become a big source of stress and concern. And so how do we reverse that? What are the key areas of thought, of new paradigms that we can begin to change and shift for ourselves? I love to share this with you, another resource by the very wonderful Brene Brown. She goes on to say here, when we have the courage to walk into our own story and own it, we get to write the ending. And if I synthesize this sense of owning your story, because Brene talks about, do you walk your story or do you walk someone else's story? Or are you looking at your story from the outside? And what I've seen in the work that we do is that with many of these men and women, fathers, mothers, employers, bosses, entrepreneurs, investors coming in to do this work, we've seen that, wow, when they get in touch with their history and their money story and their own journey about how far they've come, there is an opportunity to rewrite a new story going forward. It takes a lot of work, I must admit. It takes time. It sounds like it's a lot of very emotionally sensitive kind of work, but the ripple effects of being congruent on the inside and the outside, when our insides can match our outsides to live a more intentional life by making the decisions that we do, that can be really liberating.